Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and this is another of our beginner junk journaling videos, and this one is on gluing. We're going to talk all about the different glues that are good to use, why we use them, what you can get away with, because you know there's always one more glue, one more thing you can buy, but honestly you could just get away with Elmer's glue if you wanted to start out with. So anyway, we'll get going. Hang on. I am on step 2 of easy junk journaling. And the second step is another thing that you learned in grade school, and that is gluing. So I've laid out some glues here that I use. Of course, good old Elmer's glue is important. It's important for a later step we're going to do too, but for basic gluing, and I'll show you a signature I'm working on right now. And these have, when you fold papers up and make pages, you can glue the edges of them right here and create a pocket. And all I did on this, as you can probably tell, is I took a sheet of old music, and it was too long to be a page, so I just folded that up. And so now all I have to do, add a little glue, and this is glitter glue. Now glitter glue is a little expensive. It's on Amazon, and my sister told me about it, and I'm like, really? It's pretty expensive. It's like $20, and is it really worth it? And she said, yes, you really need it. It's good. So you don't need it maybe right off the bat, but down the road. What's nice about it is it dries super fast, so you can go on and work on your journal as you go. But it also has this metal tip on it, and it gives you this really fine line of glue. And so a bottle like this will last a really, really long time. And it comes with this stainless steel pin, which you do not want to forget to put in it. And anyway, it's really good glue. You can also use Elmer's glue. If you use Elmer's glue, you might want to, if it's a very big area, you might want to set a stack of books on it so you don't get any bubbles or anything. So that's one thing to glue. You can also glue pockets. Now, this is a corner pocket, and I did, looks like it's stuck to my decoupaging. I did stitch it, but you don't have to sew. You could just put this glue along the edge and glue it down, and you've got a pocket. This has an attachment, and this is, by the way, this is my Thought Life Journal kit that's on my website, which is JesusJunkJournals.com. But this is a unfolded, it comes with this piece of paper and this piece of paper. You cut it out, you glue them together and fold them, and it has a tab that you glue on the edge of your journal paper, so it folds all up. So you would glue those things together, things like that. Here are some pockets that are just glued, and when you get tags, usually they're 2 pieces like these, you would glue the 2 together. And again, if you use Elmer's glue, just glue them and get a stack of books, glue one, put it under there, glue another one, put it under there with the other ones till you have a whole stack of them stacked up. Put the stack of books on it, and when they get done, they'll be just as flat as you want them to be, and beautiful. These are the pockets you would glue. You could sew them, but you could certainly glue them. Just put glue on the 3 edges and you're done. You have a pocket. Super simple. These are envelopes that come in my Heaven kit. And so they have score lines. So we have cut lines and we have score lines. And score lines are just a fold line. And so you could sit there and you could fold it and probably not have a whole lot of trouble. But if it's a very long one, it's easier to score it. And so I'm going to take that metal ruler I mentioned in the last video, and I'm going to use an X-Acto knife, the back side of it, not the front. You don't want to cut it off. But you don't have to use an X-Acto knife. You can also use, there are special tools that you can score with. This isn't sharp enough, but anything that's kind of got a dull point on it, if you just drag it across, you could take these scissors. These scissors have kind of a rounded edge. You could go along it with that. I like to use this, it's a little more precise. I use the back side and I just drag it across it. Just a little bit of pressure and you just drag it across it. And then it makes a little indentation and then it folds real nice. So on the longer ones, I just go ahead and do that. And in a lot of the kits, there are big envelopes and other things that you want to score. So you fold it up, and again, I'll do this one without scoring it. Now, when you fold things, let me show you something. You want to take your fingernails and really make it a good fold. There is a tool for this, and it's called a folding bone or a bone folder. And they come in different shapes. They're made out of plastic. And all you do, it seems funny, like why would I need that? But it's really good. If you take this and run across it, it makes a really tight fold on things and makes everything looks a lot crisper. Everything lays a lot nicer. So they are not expensive. And I'll go forward just slightly. When you get your journal done, we're going to bind it. Don't be afraid, it's gonna be super easy. But you're gonna get a book binding kit, most likely. They're on Amazon and they're super cheap. I'm gonna show you one. Don't be afraid, don't run away. Here's mine. And the reason I'm telling you now ahead of time is because this bone folder came with this kit, and so did this bone folder. And so these, I got this is wax linen thread. This is an awl, AWL. It's got a really sharp pointy thing here with a cover on it, and some needles. And this is your kit to do book binding or journal binding. Super easy. If you can make a figure 8, you can bind a journal. So you get your folding bones and all of this. I think the set was $11 or $12. So it's on Amazon, and I will be putting links for these things under my videos, so look for those. But don't worry about these scary things right now. We're going to learn all about those later. It's going to be super fun. You're going to like it. So there's your folding bones. But again, if you're on a super tight budget, another folding bone is your fingernail. So whatever you need to do, get your little folds, and you can glue these. Again, I'm going to use this just because it glues super fast. Decide which way you want it to go. And I think I want those folded inside. You can always look at an envelope like anywhere and see how they glue it. But it doesn't matter, you can glue it either way and it'll still make an envelope. So I'm gonna glue, well, stop. I'm about to show you the wrong thing. Not this one. Okay, wiping that glue off. So like I said, you can make mistakes and it's fine. Well, I almost made a mistake. This particular format is what they call a coin envelope. It's just a standard thing that they have in junk journaling. No big deal. It's just what it's called. It's a little bitty envelope with a bigger flap on top and a smaller flap on the bottom. And you leave the flap at the top open. So I noticed these flaps weren't the same size, so that's what's finally stopped me. But I'm going to glue that. And I'm going to also glue this like that. And then this stays open. and you can write on this side, and it's a little tuck in into your journal. So that's glued. Now here's a bigger envelope, and again, like I said, this is a longer line. You wouldn't want to try to fold that without scoring it. So I'm going to run the back side of my X-Acto knife along these, and whoop, take your time, don't rush like I just did. And drag your lines. Fold them. Decide what you want on top and what you want to show. And I think on this one, I'm going to have those showing. Get my folding bone, since I told you that was a good thing to do. Fold them all so they lay nice. And put a little bit of glue here. A little bit of glue here. And there is an F. Now, this is plain white inside, and so what you could do before you glued it is you could use some stamping and ink and paint and all sorts of different things to add color to the inside of your envelope if you want to. And if you did do that, you'd want to do that first before you folded it. But I wanted you to see this, so I went ahead and folded it up and glued it. And so I think that pretty much covers. Now this is Aleene's clear gel tacky glue. This is fine to use. These all pretty much, when they dry, they're all pretty much clear. This is Fabri-Tac, and this is not the bottle it comes in. Fabri-Tac is glue for fabric. It glues fabric to paper and things like that. So it's kind of extra strong for those things. And I'm trying to think, I thought, oh, I'm sorry. And then there's always E6000 if you want to glue like metal or wood, or some people use cabinet knobs on the fronts of their journals, and then they make a loop to close them, and things like that you glue with E6000. I'll show you mine. I did mine with this journal. I put a buckle. I found this in a flea market. It's a buckle for a pair of overalls, and so this button, my husband drilled a hole in this cardboard cover, and then I wanted to make sure it stayed in there really well, so I put some E6000 on it and poked it down in the hole and finished it like that. So anytime you want something that's a mixture of materials, you might want to use E6000. And let's see. Oh, so this is Fabri-Tac. The bottles they put it in are kind of hard to squeeze. I know that sounds kind of silly, but this is a Sugar Bell icing bottle that you can get on Amazon, and the lids are separate. They're silicone, but it gives you a really small bead of glue, so it goes a lot farther and you don't waste it. But they're sold separately, and those are on a baking site, or you can get them at Michael's. I don't know why they don't sell them on Amazon, but they don't. So don't have to have this glue, but a lot of people use it for fabrics and things. And so that's the end of our talk about glue. And I will be back for the next thing.